Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner Since 96, and you are watching my post-match reaction video where Arsenal have beaten Southampton 3-1 at St Mary's in the Premier League as expected. This was a really good game. I'm going to give my initial thoughts and then talk through Arteta's post-match press conference, and also some comments that he made in his post-match interview as well. Let's talk about the game itself. So this was a very entertaining football match. It was always going to be. I expected Arsenal to have a real go at Southampton, especially after taking the battering that they did in the FA Cup. Not so in the result, more so in the performance. They were outplayed by Southampton all over the pitch, and today was a statement victory. It was really, if there was a few words I would describe this game, it would be an Arteta Masterclass, a Mikel Arteta Masterclass. This was a tactical bit of genius by Arteta. He played Southampton at their own game, high pressing, high intensity football. But the game wasn't like that for the duration of 90 minutes. There was moments where we were pressing high. There was moments where we were sitting off and allowing them to come at us and then counter-attacking. There was everything in this game. It was a really open game because there was both teams going at each other from the very first minute. We saw the first opportunity, Lacazette missing the first couple of minutes, and then Southampton scored from a corner, and then Pepe scored that goal. A brilliant piece of work from Arsenal, brilliant pass from Saka, I have to say, who had an incredible performance last night. There was a few standout performances for me. I would have to say that for me, the man of the match was Bukayo Saka. Bang on right. I think Bernd Leno had an incredible game as well, made some outstanding saves, really did, pardon the pun, save us in parts of that game. I thought Cedric had a brilliant performance again. Despite being played out of position on the left-hand side, he was immense going forward. Did pretty much what he does on the right-hand side. Instead of playing like Tierney by running down the wing, right down by the byline and crossing it in, he played more of an effective role as a team player, linking up well with other players in and around the pitch. He would drive down that left-hand side and only get to about the halfway line until he would decide to switch the ball to another player in open space, and that really did benefit us when going forward and getting everyone involved, opening up Southampton as well at their defence. Look, both sides had some frailties at the back. We looked shaky at parts of the game. They looked shaky at parts of the game. And I think this was just battle of pressing football. Who can play pressing football more efficiently? And we show that game that, look, if you want us to play your style of football, we'll play it, and we will play it at a far higher level. So look, as I said, Bernd Leno, Cedric, special mention to Granit Xhaka as well, Partey, Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, Lacazette, Pepe as well. Some really positive performances. And look, I said it before the game, if we were going to approach this game how we did, then we were more than likely to get the 3 points, and this was going to be our first test of many to come. It was the start of the tough run of games that are coming up. We've passed the first test. Now the second test, which is the United game on the weekend, is the ultimate test. But what I learned from this game is that Arsenal can handle pressure and Arsenal can pull out the results when needed, but not just in a fashion where the opponent are playing well, we're sitting back and we counter and then score, maybe win by a goal or 2-1. But we outplayed them. We outplayed them in large parts of the pitch. We played really intelligent football. That's what I really enjoyed about that game yesterday. It wasn't just a case of end-to-end stuff. It wasn't just a case of Arsenal getting the better of their opponents. Because we've seen Arsenal dominate games and we've seen them pull out the results against Newcastle, against West Brom. But this game in itself was different for many reasons. But one of the main reasons being that we were playing smart, intelligent football and knowing when to do what at the right time. Knowing when to press, knowing when to sit back, knowing when to counter-attack, knowing when to challenge, knowing when to not challenge. Just everything in that game screamed to me the capability of a manager who knows what he's doing, who knows how to set his team up correctly. And look, you have to also notice and mention that we were missing a few key players. Aubameyang was missing, Tierney was missing. But look, Pepe filled in Aubameyang's space and did absolutely brilliantly well. I think he's found his position on the pitch, and I think we are going to see the best out of Pepe if we play him on the left rather than the right. And for a good few reasons as well. I noticed that rather than cutting in, rather than stopping and slowing down momentum, Pepe was really direct. He was challenging defenders and markers. He was running at them. He was relentless, really. There was at the latter stages of the game, he had good 2 runs that he made, running through players and just looking like the Pepe that we had seen before we signed at League 1. Really, really impressive stuff from him. He looked really confident. The goal itself, obviously, early on, probably put him on that confident level, that high confident level that he needed to be on to see the rest of the game out. And so, look, I can't say anything more than just a really, really well done from Arsenal, from Arteta, from all the boys that played, that started, that came on as well. I have to say, look, even Willian himself, despite slowing down the momentum of the game and changing the dynamics, he did try and put in some effort. He was involved in that 3rd goal. What a cross, a peach of a cross by Cedric as well to find Saka. And I have to say, Saka as well, the boy just keeps getting better and better every single game. We're on a real high right now. We really are. We are going through a really, really good spell, and it's time to take advantage of it, because if you want your team to be performing at maximum capacity, now's the time. With United coming up, with Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Benfica, all these games coming up thick and fast as well. We only got 3 days to rest before the games come by. And so, look, I'm hoping that the injuries from Emile Smith-Rowe and Partey being taken off, I hope it's not serious. I hope they recover well. We're going to need our best squad against United, and we're going to need to approach that game in a similar sort of fashion. But I'll talk about United a different day. Today, I am going to talk about Mikel Arteta's press conference that he had. There was a few interesting questions that were asked. Some about the players, some about the games itself. I'm just going to get myself organised here, space the paragraphs out so I know exactly where to look. Otherwise, I am going to find it difficult to... There you go. Okay, so post-match conference, there was a question asked. This was right after the game. So, and this was a really, really poignant response, and one that I have to highlight and have to talk about, because it was a really punchy response from critics that were questioning him about the team selection in the FA Cup on the weekend. So a question was asked: fans may be concerned on Smith-Rowe coming off. Is he okay? Arteta responded by saying, word for word, it's one of the reasons why we had to make changes in the FA Cup. We had 5 players that were not available to play. I want to make that clear. And the ones that did play today, they were to play some part of the game. We expect them to play without any pre-season, 50 games, every game of that age. I'm sorry, it's not possible. It's impossible, and I'm not going to do that with these players. A really, really punchy, sort of aggressive response to, and it's unlike Arteta. We don't see this type of response. He's one of the nicest guys that you come across in managerial football, and to get that type of response from him just showed that, look, I know what I'm doing. Don't question my decisions. I'm the manager of this football club, and I will pick the best 11 players that are suited to play for that game. It's in an ideal world, of course, you would want the same 11 players playing after 3 days of playing the previous team, especially it being the same team, especially travelling away from home as well, in 2 different competitions against a side who's going to be playing high pressing, aggressive football. And I said it, you have to sacrifice one game for the other. Either you win the FA Cup and then you lose in the league, or you lose the FA Cup and you win the league. And I get it. Look, I was as annoyed as anyone else about losing that game, about being knocked out of the FA Cup so early on. But the reality is that we need to focus on the bigger stuff in this season. And look, I understand as well, there's nothing bigger than winning trophies, and there's nothing more than winning trophies at the club. But there's nothing more I want than to see my club lift trophies season in, season out. But I think what's more important than winning trophies is to stabilise the ship is to make sure that everyone is working at maximum capacity and to get the best out of these players. And in order to get the best out of these players, we need to address key areas and key problems that we have been seeing season in, season out. Winning another trophy for me would have been absolutely brilliant, but I fear that it would have papered over the cracks that have been getting larger and larger as the years go by from the Wenger days. And I really do believe that we have a manager here who is capable of fixing these problems, who is capable of implementing a philosophy, a style of play that is going to benefit us in the long run and that is eventually going to see us as title contenders. I really do see that. I really do see that. He's learning quickly on the job. He is making us stronger. He came in and fixed the defensive frailties. He is now working on our attacking play. I mean, when you think about a month ago, the situation that we were in a relegation dogfight, against the teams at the bottom, struggling to find any bit of confidence, struggling to find a goal on field, in play. And now to be, walking all over teams like Southampton. And we have to give credit to Southampton because they gave us one hell of a game. And we matched that game and we came out as the victors in the end. You have to ask yourself, how did we get here? It can't be by coincidence that we suddenly turned up. Obviously, I've realized, I don't know about you guys, but I've realized that Arteta has been implementing certain things. There is a style of football. There is a way that Arsenal are approaching games, and there is tactical awareness in how we play games against certain oppositions. And last night was a perfect example of that. So look, I think it's time that we let Arteta make the key decisions. I think it's time that we allow him to. I get it. It won't be perfect every game. There will be certain decisions that are questionable. I still question the decision of playing Tierney in the FA Cup rather than against Crystal Palace because now he's injured and out, and I believe that is due to him being played in that game. But look, tough decisions are going to be made. Mistakes are going to be made, and that is part of the game. We have to admit that nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to make the right decision week in, week out. But we are on an upward trajectory, and we are looking to go to good, happy places, I hope. And United is going to be the ultimate test. And if he passes that test, then look, you can't question Arteta any longer. You need to give him until the end of the season. And I've said it to all the critics. If you want him out, fine. But at least wait till the end of the season before you make a judgment. And you have to be fair. I mean, I've been doing the same with players like Holding, players like Xhaka. Xhaka, I still believe, isn't the right fit for Arsenal's midfield, but he's been pulling out some incredible performances lately. Holding, I'm still not convinced of. He had his 100th appearance yesterday. Congratulations to him. But I need to see the end of the season. I need to wait until the end of the season before I can make a judgment. And I think the fan base should do the same with Arteta as well. Moving on to the actual post-match conference, there was a question on top 4 possibilities, and Arteta's response was, I don't really want to look at the table. I want to look at ourselves. Tomorrow is another day. Review the game, train and improve in many areas. And he's mentioned that a lot. He's mentioned the fact that there are still areas that we need to improve. There are many areas that we need to improve. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Yesterday we were shaky at the back. There were times when lapsing concentration would see players passing the ball back and then just totally miscuing the pass or not putting enough pace into it. Silly mistakes as well, leaving gaps in the defensive half, especially on the left-hand side where they exploited us the most. There are many things to improve, and to look up and beyond where we are right now for me would be foolish. I understand we're 4 points behind Liverpool. I understand being 8th isn't the ideal situation, but I also understand that we are in a transitional phase right now. The club is at a real cornerstone where right now it's almost make or break. There are things right now that need to be corrected before we can start making expectations of ourselves. And the sooner they are expected, the sooner then we can start talking about challenging for a title. So this season, I'm treating it as a season where I'm not looking at winning trophies or finishing in certain positions. I want Arteta to be able to finalize and perfect his style of football, get the best out of these players, bring in the players that he needs. And I think the summer transfer window is going to be crucial. Of course, now that Odegaard has come in as well, that will add a little bit more depth as well. And so, yeah, like I said, the summer will be crucial to see what he brings in, what type of players he brings in, and then we will be able to judge him and the club next season. So top 4 possibilities for me, I'm not looking at that. I'm not concerned that coming top 4. If we do finish top 4, great, brilliant. That'll be a massive boost for us going into the summer to bring in the players that we want to. But if we don't, then the summer transfer window will be the most important for us. He talks about Emile Smith-Rowe's injury. Answered by saying he was injured for the FA Cup game and was unavailable, and we knew he wouldn't be able to play the whole game tonight. He has some muscular discomfort. It's a little bit concerning for me to see him go off the pitch the way he did. He did look like he was in a bit of discomfort. He was able to walk off by himself, which was good, not limping as much. But look, we don't know the full extent of how these injuries progress, so I'm hoping that it's not anything serious. I'm really, really hoping that it is a knock and he will be back to full fitness soon. I mean, the possibilities of him starting on Saturday look slim at the minute, but obviously they need to do their scans. They need to see how it progresses in the next coming days. But you have to remember, it's only a few days away. And so if I was Arteta, I would probably... I mean, this is a great opportunity for him because he's got Odegaard in. He can play Emile Smith-Rowe on the bench, start on the bench and start Odegaard, or he can start Emile Smith-Rowe and then bring him on at halftime or 55 minutes for Odegaard. So he's in a position of making some good positions. He's not in a good decisions, I should say. He's not in a position of I wouldn't necessarily call it a point of weakness or disadvantage. They back themselves up by getting Odegaard. If it was just Willian, then we would have a massive problem on our hands. But look, I just hope that he's not out for too long. I hope that he's back to full fitness as soon as possible, because him, Saka, Lacazette and Partey have been carrying the team forward, and these youngsters really are getting the best out of everyone else. And you realise that when they're not playing, the team as well also somehow suffers, like we saw in the FA Cup. A question was asked on Saka's position. Arteta says that he's much better when he plays in the last line of attack. The truth is we only have one natural left back, and maybe we have to use him there. It's good for his development to play there and gives him more experience, but obviously we need to focus on finding stability for him to focus on where we are heading with him. For me, that response showed that, look, a little bit naive from Arsenal's point of view to let Kolasinac go without bringing in someone to cover on that left-hand side, especially with Tierney being injured now. But look, there are still a few days left in the transfer window. With the type of window that we've had, the positive moves that Arsenal have made in getting rid of so many players and bringing in a few as well. A few, I say Odegaard and Ryan. But look, two positions that are crucial for us to fill in. Another one is left back. So who knows if the Bertrand gossip news is to be true, is to be believed, then we might see another player come in. But if that's not the case, then if we do see Saka on the left-hand side, it's good to some extent because he's able to play that position really, really well. But it's bad because we then miss out on an attacking threat, our best attacking threat as well. But then you also think about the run Pepe that's coming into on that left-hand side, him and Saka playing together. I don't know how that would work out, but you've also got Martinelli as well. Who sat on the bench, unfortunately, yesterday. Thought he was going to come on, but didn't. So look, it is a mixed bag. We do have Cedric, who's performing really, really well as well. I just personally hope that Saka isn't played at the left back. He is played in his strongest position, which is, on the right or on the left up front on the wings, because that's when he is most ruthless. And if we do decide to play him on the left back, then we weaken our attacking options by giving the opposition an opportunity to come at us and to get a result out of us. There was another question asked on Pepe playing on the left, and I have to talk about this because Pepe on the left was instrumental. It was almost a different Pepe that we hadn't seen before, one that was far more effective. And Arteta goes on to say, we believe he could be more efficient there and the spaces we wanted him to exploit. I believe the other night he was good and involved in some of our best attacking moments. He's been training really hard and deserved to play. We saw in the FA Cup he was quite good. Played on the right-hand side. It was a piss poor performance from the whole squad as a whole. But last night's performance by Pepe was, unreal. It was brilliant. It was top notch. It was worthy of a 72 mil player. Definitely right up there to be man of the match, creating opportunities. Despite that first goal that Southampton scored, you know, he made up for it by scoring and just looked a real handful, just looked really, really busy. And what I love about the role that Pepe is playing is that now opposition defenses are not going to know which player to man mark and which player to focus on. If you have Pepe playing with that type of form, then you have to prioritize marking him, but then you have to remember that you got Saka on the other side as well, who is equally as if not more of a handful, and then you got Lacazette in the middle. So as an attacking threat, we look unstoppable, because to have one player who is, for example, if you have your Aubameyang, like last season, he was scoring all those goals and the opposition defenses caught onto it, man marked him, isolated him from the game. Who are you going to isolate now? Are you going to isolate Saka or Pepe or Lacazette? Because all three players are top players that are looking dangerous in all parts of the pitch, and not to mention that you've also got Emile Smith-Rowe. So this is really, really positive for me. Continue to play Pepe on that left hand side if you get the best out of him. Play Saka on the right. Play Lacazette through the middle. A deadly force, a force that is going to ask questions at the opposition defense, especially shaky defenses as well. And United have a shaky defense, and so you know that excites me going to the game on Saturday at the Emirates. I can't wait to see the attacking football that we're going to play. And I hope it is going to be another high pressing, high intensity style of football, despite United having a really, really good counter-attacking team. It'll be interesting, to say the least. Finally, a couple questions on Partey, Tierney and Oba. We'll talk about the injuries on Partey and Tierney. Arteta goes on to say both Tierney and Partey weren't available for the weekend's FA Cup game, and even Partey today couldn't play 60 minutes. We don't know what the situation is with Partey at the minute. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but he was struggling and looked in some discomfort. Not sure if Tierney will be back for United. So it seems as if Tierney's not going to be back for United, which means that I think Cedric will play on the left-hand side, Bellerin will play on the right. But if we don't have Partey against United, that's going to be a massive miss, and that's going to change the whole dynamics of that game. It really does make a massive difference having a player of his quality there in the middle, being such a dominant presence, making everything look so calm, composed and comfortable, and him on the ball and off the ball as well. He just makes us look so dominant in that central midfield area, and so it looked like a cramp issue. It doesn't look anything too serious. I hope it is nothing more than that. We'll obviously find out tomorrow what the situation is. I assume Arteta will say, you know, we'll have to see, we'll give it another day, you know, we'll see what he's like at training tomorrow, blah blah blah. But if we don't have Partey against United, it's going to be a massive miss, and I think Arteta will know that, and I think Arteta will try to play Partey, if not in the first half, then in the second half, or start him on and then take him off. And finally, no news on Oba, but a question was asked on Oba, and Arteta said no news on Aubameyang, but I love how the players support each other and how they protect each other. Aubameyang is having a difficult time, but we are all behind him, and this win was for him. And I want to talk about this because the team itself, it wasn't very long ago where everyone was looking like they were on a different page to one another. We didn't look as unified as we do now, and I think a lot of it has to do with the players that have been let go. I think cliques have been disrupted, they have been separated, and now we can all focus as a unit, as a club, as one group. And it's clear to see. It's clear to see that everyone's on the right page. It's clear to see that everyone's playing for the manager. Everybody wants to win and wants to be on a winning side, wants to be playing fluid football, nice attractive football that we have been seeing of late, and I hope it continues. And look, a happy bunch, a positive bunch only replicates positive results. We've been seeing that of late. Hopefully we see that against United. That is the upcoming game. I will be back tomorrow with an opposition analysis video, I think. Don't hold me to that, but look, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell notification to be notified every time I release a video. I just also wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been subscribing. We've surpassed the 200 subscriber mark. It's been an incredible journey so far. To think that only yesterday or 2 days ago we were on 137 subscribers, and now the subscription has grown. More people are watching the channel. We've also surpassed 2,000 views on Martin Odegaard's video, welcoming him to Arsenal. If you haven't checked that out, do check that out. And yeah, look, I feel blessed, I feel happy, I feel really humbled as well to be getting this type of attention, to be getting the types of comments that I've been getting. Hopefully we can carry on with this type of momentum, and hopefully you all enjoy all the upcoming content. I'll leave it there. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay home, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.